All right, ladies and gentlemen, the moment has finally arrived, at least for me. It is time for more One Punch Man. But let's go ahead and get the formalities out of the way, shall we? I hit the wrong button, and I still got the Wakanda Forever logo up. Sorry, my bad. My bad. Yo, peoples, Kyushu92 here, and welcome back to my final reading of my One Piece. I have failed you. Goodbye. Let's try that again. Welcome to one. See, I don't know why I'm struggling to just do this intro right now. I'm so sorry. Yo, peoples, Kyushu92 here, and welcome to my final reading of my last, available volume of One Punch Man. Now, mind you, this isn't the end of my reading of One Punch Man, but this is my last reading of physical volumes of the series, because it only goes up to 23 right now. I don't think volume 24 is out. I don't think it's out. So, yeah, this will be my last reading of the physical volumes of One Punch Man before I move on to Viz and start reading the chapters from there. So, we'll see how we are when we get done with this volume. So, let's get a little bit of a recap of what happened in the last volume. We saw the defeat of Phoenix Man. We also saw Saitama meet up with Child Emperor as he rescues Waganma. We saw Zombie Man, and just how overpowered he is. The dude can literally get torn to shreds, and he just comes right back. And he really... And it's bothersome to the guy. Like, he's all like, man, this is going to take forever for it to regrow. Fine, I'll kill you all, so let's just get this over with. And that happens. And then we had the pupils of Atomic Samurai coming across Norinki's special task force that was charmed and enslaved by Super S, or Dos S, as she's known as in other places. Then a My Mask comes in, and he takes care of Super S. Now, it took me reading that chapter to realize that what I'm reading in my volumes and what is actually on Viz are different versions, but they also count as valid, because Ian comes in, and Ian and his group come in and save the Norinki group from being killed by a My Mask, because they know he's gonna kill him. At least Ian does, because he saw what happened to the aliens that came off of Bodo's ship way back when. So they come in and they save the Norinki group from being killed by a My Mask, but a My Mask pretty much subdues Super S, whereas in the Viz version online, it has a My Mask just basically butcher all of the Norinki group and then viciously butcher Super S in that version. So we get to see what happens next in this volume. Sorry if that was a little bit of a long recap, but let's see what chapters we're going to see in volume 23. Also, nice back cover there. And if you guys want to see what I'm reading, you can go to Viz, but it'll probably look different than mine because certain chapters are different. You can go to Viz, or you can go to the website of your choice, but as I always say, support the official release. And this volume is called Authenticity, and it's kind of a thick one, too. Let me get that all out my throat. Good to see you, Psycho, Ogata-san, and Sensei Nam, chilling in the backyard with a cold soda, watching this stream. Oh, well, thank you. Nice, and it's a nice day outside, too. Let's get started. A single man has arisen to face the evil threatening mankind. His name is Saitama, and he becomes a hero for fun. One day, a man named Garo shows up. He admires monsters, so he begins hero hunting. And around the same time, monsters calling themselves the Monster Association take a young boy named Waganba hostage and issue a challenge to the Hero Association, entering into a massive battle with them. Even though he's still a child, classed as Hero Child Emperor is able to defeat the powerful monster known as Phoenix Man, and he and Waganba work to escape the underground base. Elsewhere, Bushido and the other Class A heroes on his team head for the surface with Narinki's private force, who've now been freed from Super S's control. And we have 6 chapters and a bonus manga at the end. Punch 107 back. And we got some monsters. We got some monsters in a hallway. And then one monster goes, look. And they're both looking at each other. One monster's looking at another going, look. And they both look at each other and they start snickering.
Where you chumps going?
As it shows Bushido and Iain being led by the Narinki group.
Hey, where you chumps going?
And then one of the Narinki group goes, orders from Super S. Must take prisoners to Gyoto. And then Iain and the rest of his team are all pretending in order to slip by the monsters, because as far as the monsters go, they're still part of the Narinki group under control of Super S. But Iain goes, please let us go. And then Okami goes, Mama! And then Bushido goes, oh, the ignominy. And then it cuts to the monsters going,
you heroes are pitiful. Gyoto's gonna cut you, burn you, and torture you.
Goes Okami. But then one of the monsters kind of glares at the other one and goes,
but he won't need all of you, so I'll just have a little snack.
And as a hand goes rushing towards Iain, all of the Narinki groups start to butcher all the monsters that are in the hallway immediately. Their cover's blown. And then some monsters in the back are looking surprised as the one dude from Narinki goes, they don't know we were free and they attacked anyway. I thought it would work, but we have to fight our way out. Kill them all and regroup.
Ain't they brainwashed? You was crying, but now you wanna fight?
And then it cuts to Noria and Asami, who jump on opposite ends of a hallway and come in with rising knees to one monster and crushes his head completely. And I think this is Noria who says, this time victory is ours! And with a massive front flip heel kick, cleaves this entire monster's head in as well as part of his chest. I keep forgetting that this is an incredibly gory series. And then it cuts to other members of the Narinki group swinging some monsters around, slamming their heads together, causing their heads to explode. These guys. And then there's some other members of the Narinki group using German suplexes on monsters. A lot of wrestling moves right now to dangerous effect. You got that right. And they're just basically killing all these monsters. And then Bushido goes, they're gutsy. And with quite a grudge. And then another member of the Narinki group goes, if we don't save the hostage, we don't get paid. And then it cuts to Noria as she's just strangling a monster to death. And then Okami goes, oh. And then Iain looks over at the head of the Narinki task force and he goes, watch out! And grabs him. Or at least he attempts to grab him. And he gets elbowed in the chin, but also he dodges out of the way of a monster coming up out of the ground trying to stab him with like a massive spear. And then Iain gets tossed to the ground, and then the head guy takes out a gun and just blows holes in the monster that tried to stab him from the ground. There's an eyelash in my eye. It's distracting me. My apologies. Oh, it was 2 eyelashes. Did I say eyelash? I meant to say eyelash, but it's... That's annoying. Very annoying. And then he proceeds to fill the monster full of holes. And then Okami goes, EI! And then the leader goes, "You should be more careful. Standing behind me in battle is dangerous." And Okami goes,
What? But we're on your side. You're captain, so you should be careful.
and then it cuts to Bushido going, "Did you think we'd use you as a shield?" And then Okami and Ei don't say anything, and then the leader looks at him, and Bushido goes, "Don't disrespect us. That isn't our style." And then the head leader just goes, he smiles and puts his head down like, "Sorry, but it's ingrained in me." And then he opens fires on more monsters. "Regular troops use mercenaries as shields, and sometimes the people we try to save turn out to be the enemy in disguise. You heroes have no idea of the horror." And Okama is just going,
Okay.
and then Ei is just going, "My apologies. I'll be more careful."
You still shouldn't have hit him.
"Mercenaries will do anything for money. It's possible he used his own comrades as shields. Best not to put too much trust in him."
And Bushido is like already wary of the guy. "You, with the beard."
"Me?
"I noticed you wouldn't even fake cry."
We just gotta get back alive, so swallow your pride."
And then Bushido just looks blankly at him, and then he goes,
"We saved his bacon and he's acting superior."
so he's already done with that guy. And then all three immediately notice underneath them as multiple spikes just comes up straight through the ground. And one of the members of the Narinki task force gets stabbed in the shoulder. "Something's beneath us!" And then the whole floor starts to erupt underneath both Bushido, Okama, and Ei. "Keep fighting up there!" as the entire floor they're in just falls out from underneath them. And then the leader of the Narinki group just goes, "On it!" This phlegm does not want to leave my lungs. And it shows Ei and his group, like Bushido and his group, falling down to the ground. And then something big stands in front of them. "You come like moths to a flame, for my hair to ensnare you. Threat level demon, my long hair.
That hair's a weapon."
And then Okama is looking on, and she starts sweating, and she goes,
A hot dude. He's flirting with me, but he's a monster and I'm a hero. It is forbidden love.
she's smitten with a monster that literally just tried to skewer everyone above the floor. Okay. "Kama, we don't know that hair's range or power, so test him with your flying sword." And then Kama's just looking on with her heart beating hard and her with a massive blush on her face. Kama?" Kama's a dude. Kama's a dude. I think it was like the hairstyle and everything else, and the skirt. Kama's a dude. How did I not notice? All this time I've been giving Kama like a woman voice. A woman voice. And it's been a dude this whole time. Okay, I gotta keep reading. I gotta keep reading. You would think I would be able to have like some sort of not a reservation, but some sort of eye for seeing whether a person's a dude or not in manga, given the fact that I read One Piece and there's plenty of Okamas and plenty of dudes that go off as women in that story. You would think I would have an idea. Possibly another sign that probably should have tipped me off is the fact that Okama lacks the upper floors of Okama lacks the upper floors that you would see like on Captain Mizuki or Asami or Blizzard. But Okama's a dude. I should have known from the no, because Japan will trick you. They're the country of traps. They'll trick you. Okay, I gotta get back to it. I'm sorry. It's just that it didn't dawn on me until just now. All this time I've been giving a different voice to Kama all this time, and Kama's been a dude. I had no idea. Fubuki best girl? You're not wrong. Good to see you over here. But Okama goes, a hot dude. He's flirting with me, but he's a monster and I'm a hero. It is forbidden love. Kama, we don't know that hair's range or power, so test him with your flying sword. Kama, he fell for a monster again. Get a grip, you fool, goes Bushy Drill. Who are you calling a fool? I'll keep the type of tone, but not on the almost purely female level. Who are you calling a fool? Hey, are you jealous? May I strike him down? Calm down and stop messing around. And then Ma Longhair is just watching them argue. Our job as backup is to lighten the burden on Master and the others. We need to complete the rescue and get back, or we can never face Master again. While we're wasting time, the battle rages on for the others. And as he's saying this, it shows more monsters being just cut down to pieces by Atomic Sam... Lord Jesus. Atomic Samurai is just absolutely butchering these monsters. Like, you see a monster get cut to tiny, almost microscopic pieces, and their remains just get splattered all across the wall. Not just one monster, but multiples of them. Atomic ain't messing around. No, he's not. Oh, no, he's not. I need a One Punch Man game. I need a One Punch Man Muso game where I can play as Atomic Samurai. Keep it gory. We've seen it done before because Berserk has a game that's incredibly gory. The goriest Muso game I've ever played. I need a One Punch Man game. Not a turn-based RPG, an action RPG where I get to play these characters. I need it. But a samurai is not messing around. And it just shows him cutting through monsters just like crazy. Want to see Atomic versus Flashy Flash? We'll have to see. I'll have to look them up once I fully catch up to every chapter. Because I haven't touched the One Punch Man wiki since before I started this entire series. And even then, I didn't look into anything deep because I didn't want any spoilers. Sorry, let me continue, let me focus. We're not even done with the first chapter. My apologies, everyone, for wasting your time. Kama goes, understood. He's a hottie, but there's no choice. I'm sorry, but I cannot return your feelings. Rejection strikes like a bolt from the blue. Flying sword! And then Kama uses flying sword in the direction of Ma Longhair.
Slicing through the air creates a giant whirlwind. I hate to admit it, but it's beyond my abilities.
And then Ma Long continues. Like frogs in a well. You are ignorant, for my mane is stronger than you think. And then Ma Long's hair catches the flying sword technique just purely in the hair. Impossible! He blocked it with his long hair. But what's with the dumb similes?
Kama, behind you, underground!
And then Kama steps on a spike of Malong's hair, and he immediately jumps up and cuts it off as numerous pieces of hair come shooting towards him, which Bushi Drill then destroys. Thanks.
What a pain.
And then EI goes, that hair, it's thin so it penetrates where blades can't. And then it shows Malong hair just standing there with his luxurious hair just flowing around him like he's Medusa from Marvel. Don't lose sight of a single strand. We must prevent an attack from above. We can't let this monster get past us. And then it shows them fighting Malong hair as he uses his hair to just try and skewer them from multiple directions. And then EI closes his eyes and goes, don't try following them with your eyes. Counter the hair's murderous intent with pure reflexes. Like salt in your wound, suffer my long hair. The human head has over 100,000 hairs, but we only have 3 swords. Missing one strand means death, so block them all. If you falter, they'll spear your internal organs. This is gonna wear on our nerves.
This is going to wear on our nerves.
As it shows EI, Kama, and Bushi Drill using their instincts to pretty much keep the hairs from ever touching them. But then the hair actually starts to wrap around Bushi Drill's drill, which he then starts using a regular sword because his drill is really just an external cover for his sword because there's a katana inside. I need to get a sturdier dresser, like a sturdier desk. And then he slices into the hair and then reconnects his katana back into the drill part.
It just keeps coming.
And then it shows all 3 of them back to back. Yes, but we're well suited for this fight.
We can sense malice so we can dodge attacks from all sides.
Oh, we can sense malice so we can dodge attacks from all sides. Besides, we have each other to lean on. And then EI... Ooh, this is actually a good panel with them standing back to back here. This is a very good panel. And then EI goes, that's right.
What the? What's gotten into you?
Have you fallen for me again?
I never did.
Like candles in the wind, so are your lives. You have the worst lines. We need to cut through it all to get close. It's time for a haircut. Lop off all 100,000 strands. And then EI and the group starts just chopping off as much of Malong Hair's hair as they can. And then it shows members of the Narinki group. Chasing after like a pig creature with a little butcher knife.
Ah, those pests!
Stop you! And then it goes around a corner and then there's a massive crunch sound. And then what looks to be Noria, she goes around the corner and goes,
what's that sound?
Is something
there?
And she peeks around the corner and she goes, shh, shh. That was a bad line. Yeah, it was a bad line. He has his lines don't make sense. He's trying to sound all philosophical and intimidating, but it just comes off like, did you read this off of a fortune cookie that was typed by someone with Tourette's? Like, this is what his lines is like. Like candles in the wind, so are your lives. What does that even mean? It means nothing. But Noria goes, shh,
careful, don't go that way. There's a scary monster.
And it is Pig God, who is still eating the bearded dragon monster that came up in front of him. He's still eating it. He's eating that bearded dragon monster. And eating the little pig creature that was running away from Noria and the other Narinki task force member. How? The bearded dragon creature was bigger than Pig God. How is he eating the whole thing? He's just like, you ever seen people where they try to eat multiple hot dogs all in one go? Or you seen that Chubby Bunny video from those 2 really, 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 really big girls? That's basically him just chowing down. And that's the end of Punch 107. Onwards to Punch 108, Authenticity. Hey, we got the ages of Atomic Samurai's group. So Kama is 26, Eian is 23, and Bushi Drill is 37. See, the only person who's actually older than me in this group is Bushido by 7 years. Punch 108 Authenticity. And it shows the Iron group still cutting away at Malong's hair. And they're huffing and puffing with strands of hair all around them as Malong goes, my Achilles heel. My Achilles heel is my hair. And then it shows that they gave Malong hair a fade. And then Malong just falls over on the ground. And then Kama goes, did we win? But all we did was cut his attacking hair. That's right. With greater numbers and reach, he truly was a menacing and horrifying opponent. And then it cuts to the leader of the Narinki group going, you still breathing? We're done up here. And Bushido looks up and he goes,
the three of us barely survived. One blade would not have been enough. Are there more like him? This could get rough.
And then Ian goes, well, I'm sure Master will be fine. And then there's just like a jet black panel, and there's just a white line that goes through it. And it's, yo, Atomic Samurai is working. This man is working. This man is working. It's just a cut through as he literally cuts through multiple monsters all at once. This dude, and here's the scary thing about this. This man can cut just as easily with the reed that's in his mouth as he can with his sword, but his sword is deadlier. In one strike, he's killing multiple monsters in just one singular instance. And all of their... What is this dude operating on? What is this man operating on for his sword strikes? Whenever he cuts someone, their bodies just explode. Is it like that? Is it like that one thing in science where if you were to slice through an atom, it could cause like a spontaneous reaction? Is that what it means by him cutting through people? He's cutting people so fast that their atoms are literally splitting and causing a spontaneous explosion on the molecular level. I can't wait to read up on Atomic Samurai skills and look at the whole One Punch Man wiki and see everyone's strengths when I'm done catching up to all these chapters. Because I want to know how this man is cutting people and everyone is just exploding into cubes.
You lure them in and slash them all in one strike. You are indeed... You are indeed a master Atomic Samurai.
And then Atomic Samurai goes, did someone escape my blade?
I offered my soul to my blade and became the sword demon known as the Chopper-Upper. I will...
The Chopper-Upper. The tough job, quicker Chopper-Upper.
I will feast on your blood and reign unmatched.
As it shows, Chopper-Upper, his name really is Chopper-Upper. It shows him, oh, he kind of looks cool. He looks like a mixture between, he looks like he could be on Power Rangers. That's the kind of look he has. Sort of samurai-esque type vibe, but with many, many sharp edges on him. And it shows him trying to attack Atomic Samurai, but Atomic Samurai is just nonchalantly blocking all of his strikes, not even looking at him. Not even looking at him.
We're even.
And it just shows the lines of which Atomic Samurai has completely cut through Chopper-Upper in multiple sections. You just see all the white lines across his body of where Atomic Samurai just cut him clean through. Tons of lines, and then his whole body explodes into chunks. This dude is a menace. and then the Atomic goes, all right, is that all? Is anyone left? Raise your hand. And then a hand gets raised in the back. Huh? I am Machine God G5, and I have collected battle data on Atomic Samurai. Now I can copy your every sword stroke. Resistance is futile, so offer me your neck. Wow! G5 is ready to square off with Atomic Samurai. And then Atomic Samurai goes, are you copying my moves? I'm impressive. Toys these days are so well made. I gotta order one off the internet to help my pupils train. Bring it on. And then it's just a stare down of G5 with his two swords staring down Samurai. Atomic slash! Two-blade style. And they both rush each other. And all you see is a double spread panel of countless light speed cuts just in this entire page. This man is a menace. This man is a menace! This man is an absolute menace! Atomic Samurai is just built different. He is just built different. Because in the next panel, it's another double spread panel as we see G5's entire body just completely erupt in pieces and note that Atomic Samurai used a slash and it cut this man down to its smallest pieces. Just a cheap imitation, huh? And then G5 apparently explodes right behind Samurai. But his core was so hard I couldn't cut it. Then there's a blast attack that happens, that comes out of the smoke straight towards Samurai as he goes, a last-ditch attack, huh? You are such a sore loser. Flying sword! And then he slices in a vertical motion that splits the beam that was being shot at him, causing the beam to actually separate. Like go in diagonal sections. And his slash not only goes through the beam, but it also parts the smoke cloud from the explosion. It cleanly cuts through the smoke of where G5's body was. Like it's a perfectly clean cut. He got away. Well, the surface team can handle him. They've got skills too. And it just shows him walking down the hallway. And they're better at teamwork. Huh. And then it shows a monster being cut apart by Ian and the rest of his group as they join up with the rest of the Narinki group.
You really are Class A. I like your skills.
I owe it to Master's teaching.
Want to work for our PMC? I can get you good jobs with better pay.
PMC, private military company.
And I can recommend a prosthetics maker that we fund.
And all three of Ian's group just look around at each other and they go, thanks, but being heroes is part of how we train. Transferring isn't an option.
Oh. You really took the fight out of those monsters. We could use skills like that.
For surprise attacks. Actually, they're a form of self-discipline.
How about you become swordsmen or heroes?
And then the head of the Narinki group just goes,
no can do. Bushido and fighting for justice are too much trouble. But I could teach you a thing or two about the darkest aspects of human nature.
And then Ian just says, I'll keep it in mind.
You know, if you joined us, I could teach you how to fake cry. Never,
goes Bushidrill, instantly insulted.
My group weeps like real thespians.
Hmm?
And then Noria just looks over.
But Captain, you're best at it.
No way everyone was faking.
Thanks to you, we survived.
Seriously? I was bawling my head off.
It was necessary in order to find an opening.
I even peed a little.
Oh, wait. It's not the captain who's saying all these things. It's all the other members that didn't realize that everyone else was faking.
But Captain, you're best at it. No way, everyone was faking.
Thanks to you, we survived. Seriously, I was bawling my head off.
It was necessary in order to find an opening. I even peed a little.
And they're sweating because they all were actually crying and being scared while everyone else was faking. Yo, the comedy.
No one was crying for real? Anyway, clever ruse. Then I'll pretend I was also faking.
Wow, so Ian and his group were the only ones that were behaving fake. But the rest of the Narinki group were all really scared and intimidated. Okay, let's continue on. They excel at teamwork. We heroes could learn from them. And then it cuts up to someone running as, hey, it's Tario! Wow, he's still down there.
Help! 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 Ah!
Wait! Hey, boy, stop right there. I won't hurt you. I'll just kill you real fast, then it'll be over.
Threat level dragon, black spermatozoon. Black spermatozoon. Okay, so the little black chibi monster with the white face and the little like munchkin outfit with the hat on his head, he's chasing after Tario right now.
I won't hurt you. I'll just kill you real fast, then it'll be over.
And then something comes up behind Spermatozoon, and he senses it, and he dodges out of the way. And it's a giant cut that separates him from Tario. And it's Samurai! It's Atomic Samurai. Hold on. Let me make sure. Chat's good? Yes, chat is good. Hey, you've got moves. And then Spermatozoon just looks at him. Tozoon just looks at him. And that's the end of Punch 108. Onwards to Punch 109. That's actually starting to get annoying to me now. A dangerous multiplying monster. 5 minutes earlier. And it cuts to the Class B team fighting monsters above ground. Don't let even one escape!
Ambushing us outside was cowardly, but since you're just the B team...
These chapters are fun? Yeah, they really are fun. And it shows these monsters being, just absolutely butchered by the heroes up on the above ground. Like you can talk? And then it has Captain Mizuki putting another monster in an armbar. Yeah, Murata knew what he was doing when he drew that one. Then we got Gear Spur and the plant guy. Oh, hey, I found an exit. Plug it, Green. You got it. Now we've closed most of their exits, and the attack team will come up through that manhole soon. I sure hope Child Emperor has Waganma. And then there's an explosion that happens near a building as it cuts to second goal with a crescent moon highbrows? Highbrows? Ugh, what just happened? And then the buildings start to rumble. And then they all start to fall on top of each other. Oh, no. The buildings fall on the manhole cover that the heroes were supposed to go through. He blocked the manhole!
Fools! Every hero down there will die! No one will escape No one can escape Orochi's tentacles!
Threat level demon building blaster. Literally his only purpose is to destroy buildings. And then it cuts to Watchdog Man, Underdog Man, with Child Emperor as he goes,
Up there? It's our way out! Yahoo!
And then Saitama is there with Saitama's there. I feel like they're let me continue on. I'll say what I need to say after I'm done with these panels. And Saitama says, "But is it safe? I heard a loud noise."
The surface team may be engaging fleeing monsters. Huh? What?
And it shows Child Emperor trying to move the manhole cover that building blaster knocked buildings on.
It won't open! Is it rusted shut?
Let's all push together, goes Waganma. Now here's the thing that I wanted to say before we move on to the next page. The buildings are on top of the manhole cover. No normal person can move it. But Saitama's with Child Emperor right now. Underneath the manhole cover they need to get through. Let's continue. Let's all push together!
Idiots! You thought you trapped us, but now your comrades are doomed!
And then Building Blaster blows up more buildings. Green, can you make another way out? Yeah, but it'll take like 30 minutes. Then get on it. I'll inform Child Emperor.
1, 2...
And then Saitama is pushing along with Waganma, Child Emperor, and Underdog Man.
1, 2, hee!
leave!
And the buildings that were all on top of the manhole cover go shooting all the way into the sky. We know why those buildings went all the way up there, as it shows building blasts there on top of these buildings getting launched into the air as well. It's so forceful that you see a mini shockwave underneath these buildings as they get forced into the air. And then all the heroes who were there they just stand in awe as the light shines down on them. They're all like looking up like, as the building goes sailing off into the distance. This was Saitama pushing. These were multiple story buildings, at least maybe 15, maybe 20 story buildings. 2 of them on top of one another. Saitama pushed them, and they're sailing to the other end of the city.
It opened!
Child Emperor!
Oh, we got out!
You rescued Waganma.
How did you do that?
What?
The manhole.
Well, it was a bit rusty, so it needed a little oomph.
That was a little oomph,
Says Captain Mizuki.
Did he use some kind of invention? What a kid, goes Needle Stars. Why am I sticking with this voice? My apologies.
Class S always impresses. And then it shows all of the B team upstairs, all the B team just staring at Child Emperor like he's the one who did all that, as it has Saitama who's in the bottom half corner. We all know it was Saitama. And then they all scream, "Anyway, the mission is a success!"
Good boy. I'll give you a bone-shaped battery later.
Arf! And then it turns back into a little ball and goes back inside of Child Emperor's backpack. And then second goal. And then, it also shows that Hellish Flame and Tempest Wind are bound up because they were brought with Child Emperor as well.
Huh? Bounty hunters? Who's that?
He's a hero too. I rescued him down below.
Did the monsters take you hostage?
Nah, it was noisy, so I went down there to complain. And then he immediately gets fussed at. This dude says, like, I didn't go down there to get rescued. I went down there because it was too noisy, so I went to complain to him. And then second goal yells his head off.
What if I had to send a rescue team? You're supposed to be a hero. Get out of my sight!
And Highbrows is in the background just saying, take it easy. Okay, see ya. And then it cuts to Green as he goes, I blocked the monster tunnels that way so it's safe. Just turn left and follow the highway. And then it cuts to Saitama running towards... It cuts to Saitama rounding the corner out of view of everyone, and it cuts to where Green covered up a manhole cover. And then Saitama goes, what a pain, I just want to get this over with. And even though Green covered up the manhole cover, Saitama lifts a ginormous chunk of the pavement just casually. While it's still running, just lifts up a whole chunk of concrete to get back underground. What a pain. I just want to get this over with. And then the piece just falls back into place. The amount of nonchalance from this man whenever he just uses his super strength. In other series, you see people do big, massive things of super strength, and it's always in a very big, serious moment where they have to focus. Saitama is just casually ripping up giant chunks of concrete to get back underground, and he's just lifting it so casually and just popping right back underneath as if this is a regular Wednesday. Then it cuts to Child Emperor as he goes,
This is Child Emperor. I've rejoined the surface team. The rescue was a success. I repeat, the rescue was a success.
And then it's Zombie Man who chimes in going,
This is Zombie Man. Good work, Child Emperor.
My stomach hurt from laughing. Like the dude just casually like, I want to get this over with. Let me just grab this pieces of concrete, which are meant to withstand enormous amounts of pressure on a regular daily basis, and just flip it as if I'm flipping a quarter. Just like, just throwing it in the air.
This is Zombie Man. Good work, Child Emperor.
Zombie man.
This is a my mask. Copy on the hostage. These monsters are cinch! These monsters are cinch. I will continue to administer justice. Child. Oh, this is.
What?
All. Well, here.
Who is that? It's too noisy.
I'm digesting like crazy.
Oh, it's Pig God.
Let me keep my face upwards a little bit more.
This is Atomic Samurai. I'm busy on the lower floor, but I found a child down here.
A child? And then Wagama realizes.
It must be Tario. He's still alive?
I thought it might be a child monster, but a small black monster was chasing him around, so he's probably human. My location is... Where am I again? Anyway, I'll go in pursuit.
Hello? This is Child Emperor. What child? We got cut off. It's fast down there, so there must be many cells.
And then Wagama's his heart is beating because he knows that he just basically left Tario down there to die.
Hey, go rescue him.
Huh? No,
And then Child Emperor goes,
I have to go back in.
What? No, don't. You used your ultimate weapon for me. Leave it till the adult's already down there.
I can't do that. I'm the only one who can analyze the enemy tech and share how to beat it. Besides, I still have some secret weapons.
and then it cuts to Needle Stars and Captain Mizuki who go, well, we can't let the Tight go alone.
Yeah, we'll join you. No, that isn't necessary. Besides, someone has to guard the surface. We each have a role to play.
And then Waganma finally speaks up. Wow, he actually speaks up.
His name is Tario. He's tubby with thick lips and a unibrow, and he has a bowl cut with a little bald spot, and he's wearing a shirt that says PG on it.
And then everyone is looking down at Waganma, and then Child Emperor is looking back at him.
He was in my cell, but a monster took him away. I didn't say anything because I didn't want you to go back for him. I was too scared. I'm sorry.
Wow. First step is admitting you have a problem. I'm proud of you, I'm proud of you, Waganma. The first step in the road to recovery is admitting you have a problem to recover from. I'm proud of him. He still's got a long way to go since he's still got that tool of a father. But let's keep going. And then Child Emperor walks over and pats him on the shoulder.
Thanks for telling me.
Huh?
Now, good luck.
And then it shows Child Emperor going back underground by himself. And then Needle Star is thinking, someday I want to make Class S, but it's a high hurdle to jump. And then it cuts to everyone is just waiting around this one manhole cover. Because all the other monsters have been taken care of on the surface. They're all just waiting around the manhole cover for Child Emperor to return. As Waganma looks on sad, but also kind of nervously. Then it cuts to Atomic Samurai versus These names are going to mess me up. Spermatozune.
You tried to cut me. Are you picking a fight?
Atomic Samurai cometh, the hard-boiled hero with a warm heart.
Cometh? Give me a break. Atomic Samurai, huh? Gyoto mentioned you. You don't look like much, but oh well. I got bored waiting for you, so let's make this fun.
Whatever, but what's in it for me?
You are looking down on me.
And then it shows Spermatozoon's face kind of change a little bit. It's even in this one panel, it's a massive big panel, and his face is incredibly detailed. And then all of a sudden, a giant arm just basically forms out of his entire body. It's not like his arm turns into a giant arm. His whole body just engorges and becomes an arm with his tiny little stubby little legs at the bottom.
You shall take me more seriously.
Nah, this'll be an easy victory. And then it shows Atomic Samurai. Luffy? No, not like Gear 3rd.
You should take me more seriously.
Nah, this'll be an easy victory. And then it shows Atomic Samurai slicing through his arm when he tries to punch him. When Spermatozoon tries to punch him. I have experience.
I've diced dozens of...
Oh, wait. I've diced dozens of jerks. I've diced dozens of jerks who transform and enlarge, so you're nothing new. And then a big black form comes up behind Atomic Samurai. And it turns into another Spermatozoon. Oh, that's what it meant by the multiplying title at the beginning. This dude can clone himself. If you cut off a piece, they become more of him. You can divide, huh? Tuh, how pesky.
Pesky? Are you stupid? You still think you can win? I'm a mass of countless cells. Cut, rend, hit, crush, and break me, and I will only multiply.
And then Atomic Samurai proceeds to cut through the transforming, multi-face, multi-headed head Spermatozoon. He just cleanly cuts through it. You're the dumb one. I'll merely cut you countless times.
Go on, do it. I'll make you weep. Come on, bring it. Let's do this.
And then Atomic Samurai just uses his cutting skills, like his swordsmanship, to just cut Spermatozoon into tiny, itty-bitty little pieces. And then from all these pieces, they all become brand new Spermatozoons until there's just like a countless amount of them around Atomic Samurai. Every time they form into full bodies, Atomic just cuts them down. And then it becomes like a massive wave of them all bearing down on Atomic Samurai. And then it just keeps, man, this boy is built different. This is Atomic Samurai's volume. This man is built different. Even with all of these Spermatozoons jumping down on him, he just keeps cutting through every single one of them. Over and over and over again. And it shows him rushing through this entire crowd of Spermatozoons. And it's a whole hallway full of them. Because they keep reforming from every single little piece that he keeps chopping up. And he's just cutting through all of them with breakneck speed. Atomic slash! And then he just keeps slashing all of them. Constantly. Over and over. Not breaking a sweat. And then Atomic Samurai is then surrounded by countless Spermatozoon's faces. This animated would be nuts. Yes. Oh, I can't wait. He's suddenly enclosed in a space where it's just nothing but Spermatozoon faces in a black background. Think Xemnas trapping Riku and Sora inside that darkness dome and shooting endless amounts of lasers at the both of them during the ending of Kingdom Hearts 2. This is basically that, but just instead of lasers, it's Spermatozoon faces.
Welcome to your doom.
And then Atomic Samurai actually gets hit. Atomic Samurai gets drawn. Blood gets drawn from Atomic Samurai. What the? This monster divided, but he's still incredibly powerful. I underestimated his strength. This is bad. There's too many of them. I can't. And then it just shows that, wow. Atomic Samurai is just getting Uzumaki barraged by all of these countless amounts of Spermatozoons. Just constantly getting punched over and over again. And then he falls to the ground as a whole army of Spermatozoons go,
seriously? It's no use, so wise up. We're the worst type of opponent for you. Yodo figured that out already.
And it shows Atomic Samurai on the ground, bloodied, massively beaten, as a big giant wave of Spermatozoons are just glaring at him. And then Atomic Samurai just clangs his sword on the floor and somehow cuts the ceiling. He just bams his guard on the floor, and it winds up cutting chunks out of the ceiling.
I'll bury you.
The ceiling?
And then it shows the ceiling falling down where Atomic Samurai and the spermatozoons are. And then it shows a big kaboom! And then there's Zombie Man, and he hears all this rumbling.
What's all this shaking? I wonder how the battle is going.
And then someone appears right behind Zombie Man as he goes,
Oh, are you worried about your peers? Are you worried about how your peers are dying?
and a man with a crown. The leaders. The leaders are making their move against Class S. These are the same leaders that showed up to Gyoto. Because Spermatozoon is one of these leaders. This guy with a crown on his head with a head full of luxurious looking hair, he also was one of the leaders that showed up to Gyoto earlier. These are the leaders.
Oh, are you worried about how your peers are dying?
And Zombie Man looks back.
Where did he come from? Maybe they died like this.
And then there's a blast that just happens directly in front of Zombie Man, and it blows up. The explosion is so big, it requires a double spread panel. And the explosion, this dude has Kizaru's Pika Pika no Mi. He literally sent like a blast in the direction of Zombie Man, and it blows up the entire area that Zombie Man was just walking in, including all the walls that were there as well. The whole area just erupts.
Die before you can even resist.
Threat level dragon, the homeless emperor. This dude is dressed like a homeless guy with a crown on his head, and he basically just blasted Zombie Man.
Is that how a hero dies? What a letdown. I saw the Hero Association website. The number of Class S heroes is one I can eliminate all on my own.
And he has these orbs just floating around him, just emanating from him. And then Zombie Man comes in from the smoke, fine, and as he goes, wait, and he tries to hit the Homeless Emperor with his axe. Then Homeless Emperor aims his finger at Zombie Man's face and completely blasts it. He completely destroys Zombie Man's entire head. And as he's falling, there's a click sound inside of Zombie Man's clothes. And a blast happens, and it gets close to... and it turns into a bullet. It's actually a bullet that fired from Zombie Man's chest. And as it gets close to him, one of the orbs that the Homeless Emperor is having floating around him intercepts it, and then there's another explosion that sends Zombie Man's headless body flying into a nearby wall. And then it just shows Zombie Man's head slowly but surely regrowing back.
That looks painful.
And then Zombie Man is thinking, he blocked that damage? As his head starts to slowly regrow, like you see skull, you see muscle and tissue, you see one eyeball forming in the left socket, and his finger reforming as well. And then it cuts to Zombie Man taking a gun that apparently he had stored in his chest.
Tuh, I was saving this, but...
And he takes a gun out of his chest and spins it, and then aims it. And then aims it at the Homeless Emperor, looking like a real zombie now. Yes, he is. Exactly like a zombie. And then more orbs from the Homeless Emperor hover in the direction of Zombie Man. And Zombie Man starts firing, and the Homeless Emperor starts firing his orbs. And an explosion envelops Zombie Man. And the whole area just fills with smoke.
Indeed, you were a top hero. Even death didn't stop you, so you must have been strong.
And then it shows Zombie Man as his body has been charboiled down to the very bone. And it's slowly starting to piece itself together again. This dude's regeneration is on a whole nother level. Is this what it's like to see Deadpool regenerate on a regular basis?
Hey, your attacks are like magic, and that's not fair. What's your deal? That monster is seriously powerful. I'm surprised the name Zombie Man actually suits you. They said you couldn't die, but I thought they meant figuratively. You want to know the secret of this light's power? Very well. I will relate how I acquired my powers. Until a month ago, I lived in the park. I lost my job in my house and withdrew from society for a life of seclusion. At a welcome party for new employees, my boss ordered me to dance naked, and the next day I got fired for sexual harassment. But when I looked up at the sky, my hatred for my boss didn't matter. The land is bigger than any building, and the sky brighter than any artificial light. Human beings are insignificant compared to the planet surrounding them. My home was the earth, more spacious than any mansion. And then I realized something. Humans are foolish to remove themselves from the great web of life in order to selfishly flourish according to their own designs. The world is awful. Those fools treated me like scum. It's unbearable.
It sounded like I said unbailable, but it was
Unbearable. Homo sapiens had used its shallow wits to build an ugly, cramped, and foolish world. Only by returning to nature will I achieve true coexistence with Mother Earth. So I had no choice but to choose death.
And it shows the homeless emperor back then making a noose for himself. He intends to hang himself.
And then it happened.
And it shows something swirling in front of the homeless emperor.
God appeared before my eyes.
And in the swirl of wind, a human body-like figure floats in front of the homeless emperor. But it's not like a fully figured human. It's as if it's like a facsimile of a human body is appearing in front of him. But it has like a weird see-through doodly type outline. Like, it's weird to describe. If you guys aren't seeing what I'm seeing, but it's like something is in front of the homeless emperor. And then this voice goes,
You are correct. Human beings are fools, but you do not need to die. I will grant you power. And you know what you should do with that power. Thus, I wield divine power from God. God chose me because I know this situation. Foolish humans are a plague upon the earth, so I will destroy their civilization and their very existence. Uh-oh. Why do you believe that thing was God? Did it have some kind of ID? His story ended before I could fully regenerate. You do not need to believe in God, so enough with the banter. Atone for your arrogance by dying and returning to dust.
and then it cuts to Saitama in the bottom half of this double spread panel as he goes, "Is the ground all right here? I hope my place is okay." And that's the end of chapter 109. Onwards to chapter 110, Love Evolution. And it cuts to those monsters. I forgot not the electroplasma creature. The two monsters. The one that looks like she has like drums all around her, and she causes electricity to happen, and then the giant walking catfish. I forget their names. Oh, mycoplasma.
Mycoplasma! High voltage mode!
And she starts beating on her drums, and it cover suits the title. Yeah, you're right. But Mycoplasma uses an attack with her drum set, because she kind of looks like a mix of a rock star a little bit. And it
Mycoplasma! High voltage mode! Love lightning session!
And then the catfish goes, "Awesome! Take that!" And then he shoots out lightning in the direction of this person, and they go, "Did we get him?" And then in this smoke, is Putty Putty Prisoner! We're here with Putty Putty! And Putty Putty just basically tanked that entire hit. I need to sit up straight. I need to sit up straight. Putty Putty Prisoner tanks that entire hit. And he just has like a heart symbol. He's making a heart shape with both his hands. I can't do that because I'm holding the book. He has a heart. He's making a heart symbol in both of his hands. I want to get like a good height. Ah, perfect. I want to get like a good height so that way you guys can you see my mouth? Hold on. Let me make sure. Can you see my mouth? Yes, this is a good volume. This is a good height. Putty Putty Prisoner is just holding his hands up like in front of his heart. In front of his heart. I can't tell if you can see me making the heart shape. You can't! Let me just move this away. He's making a heart shape with his hands. I want to make sure you guys can see when I do certain things. My apologies. I told you, this is live. Everything I do is live.
What's with that pose? Whoa, even this mode didn't work. Class S and Class A are totally different.
Electric, Catfish Man, Plates Tectonic Mode. And then it cuts to another monster going,
But Gyoto said we could win this.
Maybe he isn't human.
and then it cuts to Maiko standing there with Electric Catfish Man. As they go,
We used electricity, freezing, parasitic eggs, heat, anesthetic gas, ultrasonic sound, and venom.
This one dragon girl, she's properly covered up in the exact area she needs to be in order to avoid this being a very, very mature book.
And venom. But nothing has changed. What makes him so strong?
And then Putty goes, Why so surprised? It's because I have love as deep as the sea with which to embrace the pain. I call it the angel hug.
I don't get it. What the? We'll never beat him!
And then something attracts the attention of Electric Catfish Man. Temporary retreat! And then they all immediately... And then all the monsters that are there that were facing Putty Putty Prisoner all immediately start running away. And then something moves at lightning speed, and it's like some sort of monster creature with an elephant for a head, flying, riding on a flying Roomba. That is a sentence I said. An elephant-headed man with a cane is flying on a Roomba. And he goes, Where are you going? Orochi and Gyoro would never approve of running away. Threat level demon, Vacuumer.
Ah, shut up. Fight him alone if you want, Vacuumer. Yeah, go ahead. Go right ahead.
I think I will, but first, I want your powers. And then, using his trunk, he basically sucks up all the monsters. And the suction is so strong, it brings in all the monsters and even causes Putty Putty Prisoner to actually have to brace himself to keep himself from being sucked up. This is like the reverse version of Cell absorbing the androids. Jack the Drought's ugly brother. Jack the Drought's ugly brother who really likes Cell, imperfect Cell, way too much. And he just uses his trunk to suck in all the monsters. And then Putty Putty Prisoner goes, a monster killing monsters? And Electric Catfish Man is holding on to Maiko as he goes, honey! As she goes, honey! Wow, they're a couple? Wow. Huh. I had no idea. Maiko and Electric Catfish Man were a thing. They were a couple. Honey! Don't let go! And then she slips out of his grasp. And she just gets in the nose of Vacuumer as Electric Catfish Man screams out, Maiko! No! And you know the trademark anime, no! Just that type of feel. You have no love for your mates, says Putty Putty Prisoner, as Vacuumer has changed forms. He's now floating, he has multiple hands, and all of his hands now embody all the elements and status effects, if this was a video game, that all the monsters that were fighting Putty Prisoner, he has them all in different hands. Heat, parasitic eggs, freezing, poison, electricity, ultrasonic sound, all the stuff that the other monsters had that they were individually trying to hit Putty Prisoner with, Vacuumer now has absorbed into itself to use against Putty. Ho ho ho! I've finished my appetizers. Now for the main course! And he uses this blast in a combined blast that engulfs Putty. I have the ability to digest and use superpowers until I excrete them. That's all I need to destroy you heroes, and steal your powers too. And then Putty goes, destroy the heroes. You could never beat them. Even a class-S hero like me barely compares. I'm just a normal dude. Listen up, monster. And he pretty much just tanked. This is... Putty Prisoner is a tank. A pure tank. He's a big, gay tank. Listen up, monster. Before you go shooting your mouth off, you have to defeat an average adult male like me. You aren't average! You're monstrous! As Putty gets blasted again. Your body cries out in pain. I can see you trembling. Huh? You believed you had embraced the electricity and poison, but those attacks have taken their toll. And then it shows Putty Prisoner as his body is shaking. Your spirit may be strong, but your body can't keep up. And then Putty Prisoner takes a shaking hand and just merely touches a pillar, and the reverberation of his body shaking pretty much destroys the entire wall he was touching. And this surprises Vacuumer. Huh? What did you just do? What is that? My love has given birth to a new style. Vibration Angel descended! And then it shows Putty Prisoner, whose body is just violently shaking. Not in like a condition type way, but his body is just shaking as if he's constantly vibrating all over. And then Vacuumer is just looking, going, huh? Vibration Dark Angel Rush! You truly are a monster! And then it shows Putty Prisoner using Vibration Dark Angel Rush to completely destroy Vacuumer in one go. Love my voice for the elephant guy? Well, thank you. I like it myself. And then it shows all the monsters that were inside Vacuumer are now freed. I was actually kind of concerned. I was actually concerned about the monsters living. Specifically Maiko for Electric Catfish Man. Weird, huh? But all the monsters that were inside get dropped out. Including Maiko, as Electric Catfish Man sweeps her up and immediately goes like, honey, we're getting out of here.
Huh? But won't we be punished for fleeing?
Who cares? My whiskers sense something big. My whiskers senses something big is coming. Like an earthquake. And then it cuts to Putty Prisoner as other people with prison stripes appears behind him. Whoa, even monsters treat him like a monster. That voice.
We tried offing him in his bunk, but it didn't work. The razor broke against his throat, but today he dies. Prepare yourself, boss of the Stink Slammer. I mean Putty Prisoner, 'cause we're your enemies and it's revenge time.
All of the prisoners that were in prison with Putty Prisoner as his special guys, they've all been monsterized. Okay. Oh, my honeys! The ones a monster took away. Why do you look like that? You look like monsters.
Like you can talk.
Darn that monster association. It shouldn't pick on weak boys. Wait for me, I will save you. And then it shows one of his former guys, punching him directly in the face.
Who you calling weak? Every word you say is infuriating. Get him, guys! Weep and scream! Don't think this is enough to satisfy us. We're also gonna murder all your buddies and the guards back at the joint. Flay him! Rip out his heart!
This is awful. Monsterization has jaded your hearts. Open your eyes! As Pretty Prisoner just jumps on and goes, open your eyes! This can't be. We ate together, slept together, labored together. Our hearts communed in love. Remember those days of splendor?
We do, and it makes our blood boil. You always skip penal labor anyway. Get it through your thick skull.
Just trust in me and I will save you. And then all of them shut up immediately, but they start sweating bullets. And then a voice comes in going,
let me teach you something. The monster eyes will never again be human.
I'm going to use a Khajiit voice for this cat guy, because the same cat guy shows up behind Puri.
The monster eyes will never again be human.
And then Puri looks back, and then there's a slash in the direction of Puri as he goes,
too bad, huh? Castigation.
And then it shows Pretty Prisoner being cut across his chest by another one of the monster leaders, threat level dragon, Nyan.
Nyan, 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 ni hao, nyan.
But I haven't heard that video in years. But then Nyan goes,
I'm sleepy.
And then it shows these cuts that are across Pretty Prisoner. They just explode in a ton of blood. And he starts to fall towards the ground as he goes, my sweater, the one my boyfriend knitted.
The rest is on you guys.
As Nyan walks away.
Wow, the big shot's super tough. This is our chance to whack him.
And then Pretty Prisoner stamps his feet, and he doesn't fall, because he looks like he's about to fall. But he doesn't fall. As he goes,
he's still moving!
My honeys will never be human again. You're wrong. All that matters is the human heart. I will never give up. I must save my boyfriends. For love, nothing is impossible.
That sounds admirable, but he's totally clueless. We're not your boyfriends. Enough! We'll never convince him! If he won't fight back, that's all the better! Kill him! Kill him! He feels different now. Huh? What the heck?
And then Yan looks back.
What happened? Did the damage build up in him, triggering a defensive response and rapid physical evolution?
And then it shows that underneath Pretty Prisoner's sweater, that gets torn off, and then suddenly, this man suddenly has chest hair. Y'all ever see those animations where dudes just basically makes chest hair just appear on their bodies? Puri just did that. His whole body is just covered in chest hair now. Well, body hair, not just chest hair, because it's over his shoulders, his chest, down his arms. Have I grown angel wings? And he puts his arms up, and it's like underneath his armpits is just like a massive bushels of hair. That's disgusting. That's nasty. That's nasty. That's nasty. That is nasty. I am saying that at 1:19 right now. That is nasty. I'm back. Family was trying to talk to me, but there was trying to talk to me through other sounds, so I had to actually go see them. But nasty! This dude has some nasty armpit hair. It is nasty and it is disgusting. I don't like the look of it. I don't like the look of it. Oompa loompa shaving your pits. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Have I grown angel wings?
No, it's just body hair.
I shall call it Angel Bristly Armor. I'm more impervious than ever, so...
Oh, wait. He goes,
I shall call it Angel Bristly Armor. I'm more impervious than ever, so I'll save cuddling my honeys until later and defeat that cat!
as Puri runs towards Nyan.
This feeling of revulsion. It's like when my former owner would force her affection on me. Oh well, I'll leave him to the other big shots.
And then Nyan slips into a crack in the wall. His whole body just morphs into this super thin crack in the wall.
Huh? How did he fit in there?
I can fit in a space only 3 millimeters wide, and there are cracks all over this place. So I'll go kill a different hero. See ya! Yo, buddy, we're the ones who are gonna...
And then Puri Prisoner gets in like a diving animation. Gets like in a diving... Why did I say animation? Diving position, and then just dives head first into the wall.
You will not escape me! Angel Crawl! Angel Crawl! I'll swim through the earth to chase that cat monster.
And the dude is tunneling and swimming. The dude is tunneling and swimming. Everything good, Ogata-san? I walked away because family wanted to know what I was getting for lunch. But he just starts tunneling through the wall, like purely through the wall.
Angel Crawl! I will swim through the earth to chase that cat monster.
And all the other monsters, all the other prisoners that were turned are like,
that guy's messed up.
And then it shows Pretty right behind Yan as he goes, no.
I can sense him approaching. I instinctively detest that guy.
And then Yan comes out of a crack in the wall, and Pretty is directly behind him.
Ugh. I live a selfish existence and I only fight who I want. So go fight those convicts.
No, I will follow you everywhere, you shaggy beast!
You shaggy beast! Whoa, you came back, Mr. Nyan? Did you snuff out Puri?
And then it shows Pretty coming out of the roof. No, I was responding to the fact that Pretty Prisoner thought his body hair were angel wings. I don't know what goes on in this man's head, Ogata-san. I couldn't honestly tell you. I really couldn't. But Pretty comes through the roof and he's still chasing after Nyan.
Oh no, I accidentally killed them!
Wow, he came through the roof and he crashed right on top of all of his former prisoners that were a part of his little boy group, and he wound out crushing and killing all of them.
Oh no, I accidentally killed them. My boyfriends!
He really is. This dude is bawling in this one chapter.
I accept my new abilities as a gift from you. Thank you, my honeys.
As the body hair the body hair just falls off his body. The body hair just falls off of his body. Okay, that's wow. Crying impression was so good. I try to make it authentic.
Your sacrifice will not go to waste. So watch over me as I fight.
And then it shows the head of one of these guys going, ugh. And then we have, that was the end of Punch 111, Punch 110. How many chapters do I have? How many chapters? Hold on. Oh, we're almost done. Punch 111 and 112. We're almost done. Then the bonus manga. Punch 111, Gluttony. This is a chapter about Pig God. We're getting a chapter about Pig God. Okay. And it shows Pig God just eating. And he's just sitting there eating as a monster's right behind him.
We thought we'd surround this hunk of meat and make a meal of him, but he ate everybody!
And then Pig God grabs him.
Ah! How? Aren't you human? Stop! Don't eat me! Ah!
As it shows this one big full panel, as it shows Pig God's face, mouth all wide open, and just a black void as he gets eaten by Pig God. And as he's being eaten, another one of the leaders, I recognize this one. This is the one that has like the big mouth for a head with just legs around it. It's right behind Pig God and winds up eating the whole, it winds up just chomping on, it just chomps on Pig God whole, including a little bit of the ground that Pig God was sitting on. And then he gulps, and it shows this leader with an enlarged body. Threat level dragon Gums. And it just shows Gums just sitting there, standing there, burping after eating Pig God. And then, all of a sudden, it shows Pig God's face inside the stomach of Gums. And then Gums starts salivating over his mouth and winds up, regurgitating Pig God. And then Pig God, his eyes sparkle, and he gets up. And he proceeds to launch towards Gums in a sumo-like fashion. This dude actually moving. Pig God is actually moving. This big, giant tub of lard is actually moving. This dude bum rushes Gums in a big spread panel. What? That's the end of the chapter? What was that? That was the end of the chapter? It just shows... What? It just shows Pig God bum rushing Gums. It shows him bum rushing Gums and running face first into him, pressing his face on Gums' teeth. And that's the end of the chapter! Pig God is moving. I don't know why that made me wheeze so hard. He's like something out of Looney Tunes. He is. Pig God is goated. I have never been so offended by how this chapter just teased me. I thought we were about to get something big with Pig God, and the biggest thing we get is the fact that he actually can run. And then it just ends the chapter when he runs and goes to the next one. I feel so cheated. I feel cheated. I have never been teased like that before. I'm offended. I'm offended right now. Why? That was it. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 pages of just Pig God being eaten, then regurgitated, then him bum rushing Gums, and that's it. That is so rude. That is so rude. But that's the... I gotta keep going. I'll look up the volume that I just read. Matter of fact, let me pull it up here. I gotta pull up this volume. See if it's the same. I gotta find this volume. Right, I forgot Bleach comes back next week. I forgot about that. Okay, so... the pages are not going to be exactly the same as they are in the volume. Okay, so this is the fight between Atomic Samurai and Spermatozoon. Wow, it talks more about what a My Mask was doing. That's interesting. I'll have to read through some of these chapters later. I have to read through some of these later. But I really want to see if the page. I'm only checking. I'm not going to pay attention to what's on these pages. I just want to see if this fight between Pig God and Gums is expanded on any further. Okay. Pig God launches out at Gums. Wow! That's as long as it was inside of the chapter, too. Chapter 112 is the one that has Pig God launching at Gums, but it continues on longer and has stuff with Eion and his group. I'm going to have to re-look through some of these pages because they're different. They're different, but they all still count as valid. Okay, let's keep going. We are almost done. Sorry to keep you here longer than I normally have. Punch 112, Super Alloy Black Luster. And then it cuts to Nyan as he thinks, that cat said he was going to hunt other heroes. Oh wait, this is Putty Putty as he goes, that cat said it was going to hunt other heroes. That's pretty dumb. He'll regret taking on any hero in which he had stuck with me. Then there's a massive wham sound as we see a big old black back. We see a big old black back as things is happening in front of this big old black back. And it's Super Alloy Black Luster as he's being barraged by, I believe this is, who is this? Is this the insect bug creature that was with Killer the Ripper? I believe this was. The same one that beat up on Garo way back when. He starts punching all over Black Luster as he goes,
What are you doing? Why are you freezing up? Have you given up?
Super Alloy Black Luster. Oh wait.
Super Alloy Black Luster. Why don't you fight back?
Insect God. Yeah, it was Insect God. Insect God. You told me that you are an indomitable manifestation of insect strength. But that is exactly what I have striven to be. It was disheartening to think a monster had surpassed me, so I wanted to see what you've got. You've got the power, speed, and ferocious strength of an insect god, but you vastly failed to meet my expectations. You're a disappointing insect monster because you lack the black luster.
You fool! Do you not think that was a display of my full...
I am sorely disappointed. My body is no more than an enlarged muscle, but its performance outclasses yours, insect god. I'm warning you. There are 3 heroes you must never anger. One is the strongest creature on Earth. His name is King. When the King engine rumbles, he sends evil straight to hell. Then there's the psychic capable of untold slaughter. Her name is Tornado. Tick her off and she'll pulverize you beyond recognition. Finally, there's me. I'm Super Alloy Black Luster, and I shine with black light. When I'm angry, my muscles act on their own.
I see. Want to know what happens when I'm angry? You heroes have failed to defeat the Hero Hunter, and yet even his fists were powerless against me.
Hopefully you guys can understand what I'm saying with this
big old creepy bug voice. You heroes have failed to defeat the Hero Hunter, and yet even his fists were powerless against me. My carapace is impenetrable armor. I exist on a different plane than you mammals, because my insect muscles instantaneously impel me to full power.
And then it shows Insect God's body molting and changing into a bigger form.
You might say my whole body is a weapon. I'm gonna shred your fake muscles and feed them to the bugs.
And then Black Luster just says, those are reckless words. And then it just shows Black Luster flexing. He's just flexing. He's just like, he's just flexing in front of Insect God. And then Insect God, who's transformed and has multiple arms over his body, immediately goes,
I will break you!
And then he proceeds to just punch Black Luster all over. And he goes, and then with one, wow. Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! This boy has the blackest of power. That's what I call the Black Punch. Oh my goodness, this boy. Black Luster just tanks every single one of the hits. His body glistening, black muscles bulging, and with one punch, he obliterates the entire body of Insect God. He obliterates the entire body of Insect God, leaving only the bottom of his legs behind. Black Luster forever! This boy is glistening! He's like a cross between Vilgax and the bug guy from Men in Black. You mean, what is his name? His name was not Carl the Roach. It was something the Roach. I forget that guy's name. But Black Luster just punches Insect God's body one time, and he just kills him instantly. I told you it was reckless. Even I don't know how to scratch me. Wow, really? And then even he doesn't know how to injure himself? And then it cuts to the whole room shaking as he goes, huh? That shaking. Is someone fighting a top monster? And his muscles start twitching. If I don't fight a big shot too, my muscles will lose their motivation. And that's the end of Punch 112. That's the end of Punch 112 and the end. And well, we still got the bonus manga, so let's do that. Bonus manga, setting an example. The Class S hero Pig God has a unique constitution allowing him to consume and digest any amount of any substance, even poison, and his subcutaneous fat can absorb any shock. His physique is impregnable from all directions. He is a living legend in the Adiposphere. Is this supposed to be a Adiposphere? The Adiposphere? Adiposphere? That's from the Wikipedia. And then this is my mask just reading up on Pig God. And he just goes, but the way you fight is disgusting. It's definitely not for kids. Do you have to eat every monster? My mask is grading the heroes.
Well, that's how I fight. This guy's annoying. How come you grade the heroes? Stop watching and help.
I'm like a top chef rating restaurants.
Oh.
Heroes must represent an inspiring figure, like I do. So I hunger to make sure you satisfy my demands.
A hunger you can't control? Whatever.
And then he just snatches away the little pad that my mask was using. Ah! Hey, don't! Give that back!
Aw, show me my evaluation. It's all about my personality. But he always criticizes my skills and appearance. That's odd.
And then my mask quickly snatches away the pad from Pig God. Well, it's crucial to research who's fit to be a hero.
Why are you sweating?
I need to analyze everyone to identify where they need coaching. Got it? Part of a hero's job is setting a good example. So don't hesitate to follow my lead. See you. You pass again, Pig God.
What's with that guy?
As my mask just takes off. Then it cuts to Pig God going to Back Fat Ramen. That's literally the name of the ramen shop. And he sits down right next to Side. Oh no. Hold on. I'm back. Okay, good. It disconnected for a quick second. I want to make sure that I didn't cut off anything. Okay, right here. Pig God goes into Back Fat Ramen, and he winds up sitting right next to Saitama and Genos. And then Genos says, Pig God. And then Pig God looks over at where Saitama is as he's trying to down like a whole giant bowl. And there's a sign behind Pig God that goes,
Take the challenge. Finish in 1 hour and it's free. Belly Buster. Only 5,000 yen.
Set an example, huh?
and then Pig God goes, Belly Buster, 20 bowls, please.
Coming up. Here you go.
And then this has to be a strong person who can handle this bowl, because this person grabs the bowl and then lays it down in front of Pig God with one arm, and you see the man's arms, muscles bulging. So you got to be a strong joker to handle the Belly Buster bowls. Here you go. And then Pig God just goes, Itadakimasu. And then he, with one full gulp, he slurps up everything in one go, shocking both Genos and Pig God. And then he pays the guy, and he goes,
Thanks again.
No problem. Your volume covers chapters 1 through 102 through 104, page 16 and 37. Oh, wow, that's detailed. Chapters 1 to 8. I'll read this after I'm done. But Pig God pays him and goes,
Thanks again.
No problem.
Keep it secret that I'm paying. I don't want the other guy to feel obligated.
And then it cuts to Saitama, who just is upset that Pig God just basically showed him up, and he goes, That jerk, was that a challenge? Well, I accept. I'm going to finish this. Master, your indomitable spirit inspires rivalry, even the very incarnation of appetite. I got to read that sentence again. Master, your indomitable spirit inspires rivalry, even the very incarnation of appetite. The Class S hero Pig God is a living legend in the adiposphere? Is that actually a thing? Adiposphere. The Class S hero Pig God is a living legend in the adiposphere. 23 authenticity end. That is the end of volume 23 of One Punch Man, and that is the end of my actual volume read-throughs. Now will be chapters. But Ogata-san, you said my volume covers chapter 102 through 104, page 1637, chapter 108 through 111, page 7 and 27, then chapter 112, chapter 12, page 11 of 23, although things play out differently on Viz. Yeah. But we're going to be reading exclusively from Viz now that I am done. I can put this on the shelf now. We did it, ladies and gentlemen. I've caught up to all the physical volumes of the manga that I currently have on this channel, which leaves us just... Oh, you mean when you use the slash, you mean out of that many pages. 16 out of 37. Oh, that's what you mean. So chapters 102 and 104 uses 16 out of 37 pages. Okay, I get you. I understand. But we finally caught up to all the volumes of One Punch Man, which leaves my next stream to be dedicated to reading through a set number of chapters to fully catch up to One Punch Man. The chapters where they are right now, it is at 169. It's at 169, and I just finished chapter 112. So that ought to be 57 chapters left to do. Yes, I have 57 chapters left to catch up on. I had more chapters to catch up on with Jujutsu Kaisen, but I will pace myself this time. So if I have 57 chapters to go through, then I will go through 25 chapters for the next session, and then the rest of the chapters afterwards of that. Yeah, 25 chapters after 12. for one session, and then the rest of the chapters after that, and then we'll be fully caught up with One Punch Man. That's the game plan, so that way I don't stretch myself too thin reading for exponentially long amounts of time. So that way we can fully catch up. But yeah, this was a good chapter. So many good showcases of Atomic Samurai, Super Alloy Black Luster, a very big tease of Pig God. Just all these different, hopefully this makes more sense. Don't want you reading ahead. Don't worry. Let me actually do this. Let me actually find the chapter I just stopped on. Because let's go to 108. Let me see if I need to find the correct one. Okay, so this is the one with the hair guy. So let's go to chapter 12. And this is the one with Gums. This is Ian and his group. Okay. Okay, so this is with Pig God. And then... So that's chapter 112. I might actually have less to read. Punch 113, Encounter... Oh, no. We need to go, this needs to go backwards just a little bit. Because, like I said, the manga itself is different from how it is on the Viz site. So some chapters are basically, the manga is basically spliced together chapters of what is exponentially longer for Viz itself. So what I'll do is I will actually go from chapter 112, which includes that whole interaction with Pig God, against... Gums, and then continue from there. Even though I did Punch 112 in the volume, I'm going to read Punch 112 from Viz because it has more stuff, and then I'll just go off from there. So that's where I'll continue. Even though it finished with Black Luster in that chapter, I'm going to continue from 12 from this one and then go from there in order for it to make more sense. Hopefully this makes more sense. Don't want you reading ahead. Don't worry. I'll read from where Pig God showed up on the Viz site. Don't forget about the rest of 104 and 1 through 107. Well, maybe, actually, you know what? Let me see. Let me do this. 104 through 107. Let me do this. Let me go down to 104 and 107, and then read through the differences of those two. And see the differences. Wow, it really is different. Wow, these pages are actually mixed up in the manga because chapter 104 has Black Luster facing off against Insect God, even though that was the last page with him facing off against Insect God in the volume. He punches Insect God, destroys him. Then there's a shaking up above ground, and it turns out that it was Pochi who's doing all the rumbling. And Pochi's there as he's growling, as it shows Saitama walking in front of Pochi. First a naked maniac and now a big dog? What do you eat to get so big? It's dangerous to let you run loose. And then it shows Pochi as he begins to, wow, Ogata-san, we're not done. We are not done. We are not done. We are not done. We are not done. We're not done yet. We're not done yet. I'm going to read through 104 through 107, and then I'll call it done. I'm reading the Viz versions of these chapters now, and they show so much more. Saitama is facing off against Pochi, and Pochi prepares to fire a blast at Saitama as he goes, "Is your owner down here? You need better training. You shouldn't bark, snap, and breathe fire at everybody you see." And he dodges a blast from Pochi. And then he prepares to punch Pochi as he goes, "Sit, Pooch." And then he punches Pochi, and he punches Pochi so hard that the explosion the explosion from his punch reverberates through an enormous portion of the Monster Association hideout, causing the floors to implode on themselves. Zombie Man feels it, Pig God feels it, Homeless Emperor feels it, Pretty Prisoner, Flashy Flash, Tornado, Blizzard, and Fang and Bomb, and even Atomic Samurai feel it, and all the other members, hold on. Some other leaders from the Monster Association feel this rumbling from Saitama punching Pochi, and Gyoro feels it. All the leaders do. Everyone is just cutting to everyone's reaction of Saitama. Why are there different versions? They're like redraws, but they also, they both count as valid, but some of them have a lot more detail to it than the manga does. Because I feel like the Viz chapters have much more details concerning One Punch Man than the actual volumes themselves. Because what we're seeing here, what I'm seeing here for One Punch Man, is not in the volume. There's different versions, but one counts them as both being valid. So even if you didn't get this information, it's still, that version is still valid. That's still canon. But Viz shows so much more, such as this punch against Pochi right now that everyone is feeling, and it's cut into everyone's reaction of feeling the whole hideout shake from Saitama punching him. And then Captain Mizuki goes,
That sounded like a massive blow.
What was that jolt just now? I only have comms with Child Emperor, so I don't know what's happening. Is there a new piece on the board?
And then it cuts to someone spraying something on, like, I don't know what this is. Is this supposed to be soap or something? This looks like something. But then it cuts to Genos and his armor as he goes, what was that? And then it cuts to Nyan, who's in a crack in the roof, who saw Saitama punch Pochi.
Unbelievable. With just one punch, he still hasn't noticed me.
And then Nyan comes up right behind Saitama and uses
intense castigation
and slashes Saitama in the back of his head. Huh?
My claws!
A dog? And now a cat?
They didn't work. This guy must be dangerous. He's sure to beat me. I better scram.
Hey.
I'm not dedicated enough to the Monster Association for me to die for them. I'll leave him to a different monster, but who can beat him?
Huh? And then Gyoro's on the bottom floor going, what a loud noise. Pochi has fallen silent. Surely he hasn't lost.
Getting worried?
And then who comes up in front of Gyoro but Terrible Tornado, and she floats in front of him.
I bet that was a mega monster losing. Anyway, are you the head honcho around here?
Oh my. How nice of you to come. Welcome to my abode. I was hoping to face you myself. The woman with super psychic powers, Terrible Tornado. My name is Gyoro. I am the association's strategist and the creator of a new world ruled by monsters.
And then Tornado goes,
so what? In other words, you are the head honcho.
And then Gyoro grins with his eye and just goes, die. And then it shows numerous rocks falling towards Terrible Tornado, onwards to chapter 107 on Viz. 105 on Viz. Chapter 105, Strong Opponent. Captain Mizuki, why are you taking your shirt off? Why are you doing that? I know you're showing off your workout gear, but... Stop. But Tornado gets enclosed in a whole bunch of rubble that is ripped off from the area where Gyoro is, and he starts to surround it around Terrible Tornado, and he starts to compress it onto her with extreme force with his own telekinetic powers. And then light just envelops him as light explodes, and then Terrible Tornado just gets out of it instantly. That manga didn't cover it all. It didn't cover it all. I might just stick with reading the chapters from Viz instead of getting like future volumes, because this has way more detail. Oh wow, so we're getting Tornado versus Orochi? We're getting Tornado versus Gyoro. Because Orochi is the one, Orochi is, basically he's the monster king, but he's not the one running the show. He's just the hired muscle, like a figurehead, I sort of think. Gyoro is the one who's pulling all the strings. But terrible tornado just erupts outside of this so-called prison that Gyoro tried to trap her in and goes,
Is that all you've got?
and Gyoro just stares as she swipes. She swipes in one direction with her by grabbing small pebbles, and with those pebbles, she completely obliterates Gyoro's left arm.
She pierced my barrier. This could get ugly.
Because he has a barrier around him, and she just easily broke through it and tore his arm off.
But no problem. I won't hold back either. I'll fight in my true form. What's wrong, Tornado? Never met a psychic stronger than yourself? Well, enjoy it. Super raging waves of gravity!
As it shows Tornado being forced down to the ground. She's still in her own barrier, and the whole ground erupts from the overwhelming pressure of gravity.
Gravity times 300! I'll flatten you like a pancake!
And then Tornado is just drawn in a very kiddish-like style, and she goes,
Hey, you are pretty strong, but could you press on my right shoulder a little harder? I changed pills recently, so it's been stiff.
Why you?
and he's forcing himself to use as much power as he can. He kind of reminds me of Zomari Roru when he was in his Resurrectio form of his Brujeria form, where he was facing off against Byakuya, and he kept trying his best to struggle against Byakuya when Byakuya used Danku, and he couldn't do anything with his Amor. This is basically that same situation with Yorogyo versus Tornado right now. And then Tornado just looks in his direction, and his whole body gets twisted. His whole body gets twisted around in like telekinetic blades, and his whole body just gets shredded. Huh? And his whole body just goes, no, wait! And then Gyoro's body just gets turned into mulch by Tornado. I never would have known this happened in the series had I stuck with the volumes. His whole body just gets twisted and contorted around in a big old shower of blood and body parts as she just holds her finger up to Gyoro. Tornado is scary.
She's more powerful than I expected. Her sister barely compares. I miscalculated.
I get it, you're strong.
Oh, wait.
I get it. You're strong. I'm done for. But you didn't have to kill me so gruesomely. You've got a mean temper, terrible Tornado.
Shut up. You're just a lump of meat that feels no pain, so now I'm gonna draw out your true form.
Oh no, she saw through me. I wasn't ready for this challenge.
Wow. Gyoro was not fooled at all. I mean, Tornado was not fooled at all by Gyoro saying, I'm going to use my full form, because his so-called true form had him have eyes all over his body, but that's not his true form.
Oh no, she saw through me. I wasn't ready for this challenge. In that case, there's only one option.
Lord Orochi! Help me! Destroy her! Lord Orochi!
Orochi? Oh, right. Someone did mention that name.
I'm our strategist, but Monster King Orochi is the boss. Even I, who created him, cannot fathom his monstrousness. He'll finish you fast, Tornado.
And then nothing happens and there's silence. And then Tornado just goes,
But no one's coming.
Why not? That's strange. I brainwashed him to never defy my orders.
Maybe he's got problems of his own, huh? Maybe he's staring down a hero. Other Class S heroes are pretty strong. Not as strong as me.
An opponent so strong that Orochi would ignore my plight? Wait! Let's calm down and talk this over. But this is Tornado. Lord Orochi should be here already. Where is he?
And then it shows Saitama as he's looking down. As he's looking down at a writhing amount of heads at the bottom of a chasm. And they all come shooting upwards. grabbing onto the nearby openings to pull themselves up, and a body cloaked in fire as Orochi makes his appearance before Saitama. I never would have got this if I stuck with the volumes. We about to get Saitama versus Orochi! Let's go! Orochi in his massive body of tentacles and heads. See? We're at this for 2 hours, and I read through a volume that pretty much passed over so much of this because it's so different from Viz. Viz has so much more going on for One Punch Man. This is what I'm going to stick to. I'm not getting the volumes anymore. I'm just going to stick with Viz. It's nice to have the volumes on the shelf, but if Viz has this much content, I'm going to stick with them. But it shows Saitama standing directly in front of Orochi. And this panel is absolutely beautiful. I need this as a disc plate. This is good art. This is art. This is art. And then Saitama goes, first 2 naked dudes, then a dog and cat, and now I don't know what this is. Why are you living under my neighborhood?
I don't know how you snuck in here, but you don't seem to be vermin I can afford to ignore.
And that's the end of chapter 105. Onwards to Viz chapter 106. Yo, Ogata-san, you did me an enormous favor. You did me an enormous favor. You did me an enormous favor pointing out the differences between chapters in the last read-through I did. I never would have known about the differences of One Punch Man from physical volume to Viz had you not said anything. I never would have known about this. I never would have known that I would be getting a Saitama versus Orochi chapter right now, because in Viz chapter 106, it is strictly titled Saitama versus Orochi versus Saitama. And Saitama standing there in front of Orochi. And Saitama goes, I live right above here. I heard noises, so I went to look around, and Orochi tries to use his tentacle to hit Saitama. And then Orochi goes,
I suspected that the disturbance earlier was significant. It's not on our threat list, and it appears capable of threatening us, as it is unexpectedly powerful and dangerous. I must destroy it now.
And then Saitama just casually lifts up the tentacle going, Our? I knew it, a whole gang lives here. Listen, man, you keep yapping about threats and danger, but you're the ones attacking me. I'm just fighting back. As it shows, Saitama is gripping Orochi's tentacle horn so hard that it's actually cracking. Wow. I cannot imagine the animation for this. A beer. We've actually been missing out on so much. I can't believe that Viz had so much more to offer versus a physical volume for One Punch Man. It's not strictly the same for every other volume that I read, because the volumes for Jujutsu and My Hero are basically the same physical-wise, but One Punch Man is the only one that actually has differences. But Orochi blasts in the direction of Saitama, and he just looks, and he dodges, and he goes, Whoa! You're gonna attack me anyway, huh? And then it shows Pucci, who suddenly gets up because he was knocked unconscious by Saitama. And he gets up, and then Orochi goes,
You're still alive, Pochi.
Not Pucci, Pochi.
Kill this human.
Dang it. It got a little burned as he's looking at his cape. And then Pochi looks in the direction of Saitama, and then Saitama just gives him the side eye, like. And then Pochi immediately zigzags away and starts running.
What did you do to Pochi?
I punched him, and you singed my cape. Unlike your dog, you're obviously a monster. So instead of holding back, I'll punch you like normal.
He held back against Pochi. He does not appear to be bluffing, because the monster cells inside me are astir. And he must be the cause. He is the threat that was incomprehensible. Goketsu, sent to Chodo, and the monster of Ghost Town rumored to live above ground. It wasn't the Monster Association or me. It was this man.
And then Orochi, his body starts morphing and creaking as he goes,
I haven't been this excited in a long time.
and his body starts to contort around and swirl around as it starts to assume a more humanoid type form. And his humanoid type form looks fundamentally different than he did from his first appearance, as fire is still around his body from when he was fighting Garo, and it envelops his upper half of his body, and his tentacles start to swing around his head, and they're all on fire as well. Physical copies are not caught up. The publisher's most likely trying to figure out how to input all the redraws. I don't blame them. So do they just skip the Saitama versus Orochi fight in the manga? No, it's actually just put in different places. Because in the volume I just finished, it had Black Luster. It had Black Luster at the end of the volume 23. But it had Black Luster and his fight going on before Pig God was going up against Gums. So they're all rearranged. It's not a matter of they leave them out. It's just that they're not in the exact order that Viz has them in on the site. So those are going to happen later. They're just reformulating them. Reformatting them into different places. But I'm sticking with Viz. I'm sticking with Viz. I'm sticking with Viz. I'm sticking with Viz. There's so much information. Orochi assumes a new form and goes,
This is the ultimate battle. I find you interesting. You have reached the extreme limits of human strength, so I look forward to the challenge you represent. Can you awaken my slumbering ego and emotions?
As Saitama stands there, and Orochi's tentacle head starts whipping around as he goes,
But I am the supreme life form. The monster is humankind's naturally.
And then Saitama goes, Hold it right there. I'm not interested, okay? So don't get carried away. I'm sick of hearing these self-introductions. You're all the king of whatever, or the ancient weapon of whatever, or evolution's highest whatever, or the sealed whatever, or the greatest whatever in the universe, or the whatever of whatever. I've run across countless monsters of your type, and you're all the same. You said you're the supreme life form or whatever, but I'll probably finish you in one punch anyway, right? So bring it on. Seriously, I don't expect much. Yo, Saitama's just done. He's done because he really has heard so much. He's just done as Orochi just brings his whole Hydra-headed fists. He just brings it directly in front of Saitama. And then Saitama, with one punch, just punches away the heads with a basically super bored look on his face. And then Orochi brings his arm back, which was the whole heads that were going towards Saitama. And he just punched it away, so he just punched away his arm. And using his available arm, he causes his Hydra limbs to basically Shin Godzilla the entire place and just erupt it with fire and explode it. And they all combine together. They all combine together to turn into like a massive, it's just an eradication beam. Because Saitama gets caught up in it, and he gets blasted deeper inside of the hideout. And Atomic Samurai sees it, and using his style, using his swordsmanship, he cuts the beams, the tendrils that erupt through the ground. He cuts the tendrils that cut through the ground, and he saves himself. Then it shows Bang and Bomb defending Blizzard. As Bomb goes, Does lightning come from the ground at the monster's base? And then it shows Gyoro enveloped in a barrier, as well as Tornado. Then it shows Flashy Flash. Then it shows the entire town. It shows the entire town bubbling like, you see the entire town above the ground bubbling from the force of this massive explosion, and then coming right back down and crashing again. And then a subway car, which was running at the time, it causes everyone to launch forward, and then it causes the train to stop. As the conductor goes, "Oh, what the cave-in?" And then it turns out that the entire blast carved a ginormous hole into the earth that also pretty much just bored away the entire subway line that the subway car was in front of. And it's just like an endless hole. And then the conductor just goes, "Huh? These panels are drawn with so much details." Seriously, he's like Kaido from 1033, pretty much. And the conductor goes, "Huh?" And then something goes speeding past the subway car at breakneck speeds. And it's Saitama who's running at top speed as he goes right back to the entrance of the hole he was just launched through, and he launches at Orochi. And he launches preparing to punch Orochi in the face, but one of the hair heads grabs Saitama and holds him, and then multiple of them try to embed themselves try to converge onto Saitama, but Saitama literally punch and kicks all of them away instantly. And then Orochi, he opens up his chest. And causes all of the remaining Hydra limbs that are attached to his body. I don't know what to call it. I call them Hydras because of the way they function. But all the heads around him change shape, and then they all blast directly underneath Saitama. They blast directly above Saitama because Orochi moves out of the way of Saitama trying to punch him, and he opens up his chest, and then he causes all the heads to blast down and his chest to blast down where Saitama is, and it's just a massive explosion. And then Saitama is there. Saitama's there on one piece of the rubble. He looks in the direction of Orochi, and in that one singular direction, jumps up and punches straight through Orochi's body. And a massive display of strength, well, casual for Saitama, he punches straight through Orochi's body. The fire, his body, everything, just one big hole that he just punched through. And then Orochi's body, which is crumbling into pieces, goes, "What did you just do?" As Saitama is seen floating next to his head, Saitama just goes, "Huh? That was just a normal punch." And then as the head piece of Orochi falls down to the ground, well, into this chasm, he goes, "So this is what fear feels like." And the pieces of Orochi just fall down into the chasm below as Saitama just looks down. That's 106. Now let's check out 107, and then I'll call it a session here for today. Punch 107, fake. "I found him." And it cuts to Gyoro as he goes, "I found him." Ah! "Orochi, he's dead? Orochi is dead? How can this be? Who did this?" "Whoever it was can't be far. I'll find him, analyze his powers, and devise a..." And then he zooms in on Saitama, and because his little floating bug head is floating, and Orochi's dead. Orochi's dead. Orochi's dead. Orochi is dead! The Monster King got one-shotted, and he's just gone! Orochi is dead. The Monster King that I really honestly thought was going to be like a significant major threat just got killed by Saitama. Just so just so casually. But Gyoro zooms in with his flying eye towards Saitama, and Saitama instantly kills it. He just swats it and goes like, whoa, was that a bug?
What? Who's that bald man? I've never seen him before.
A shaved head? It must have been Blackluster.
As Tornado can tell the conversation that's going on between Gyoro.
I can't believe it. Is Orochi really dead?
And then the last big hunk of Gyoro starts floating in the air because of Tornado, as she goes,
Shouldn't you be worried about yourself?
Okay, fine. I give up. I'm sorry, so let me go.
How about you come out and apologize face to face? I want to face my real opponent.
and then she flicks her finger, and then the body of Gyoro starts to move around, and then he looks around, and then multiple eyeballs start to float up around Terrible Tornado and goes,
At least I'll take you down with me! With a direct attack!
and then Tornado is completely untouched. She is completely untouched as she goes,
Who taught you to use your powers in such a refined and meticulous way?
and then there's an actual body inside of Gyoro. It's an actual human body. It's an actual human body inside of Gyoro that she's ripping. She's using her powers to slowly rip this human body that's inside of Gyoro. Ah, stop!
You're Blizzard's friend, right?
Blizzard's friend? Blizzard's friend? And then it cuts to Blizzard as she's shivering and trembling, and then Silverfang goes,
Why are you just standing there? You don't look well.
My sister, Tornado. She's nearby. She's using immense psychic power to fight someone. It's rare for her to exert such strength.
Psychic power? Then her opponent must be formidable.
So it would seem. A monster of incredible power was lying in wait here. It could be fatal to get involved in a clash of that magnitude.
Then Garo isn't our only problem.
I hope King is all right.
I'm sure he's fine. Even I have heard of his awe-inspiring strength. We must advance with caution. The monsters may use any manner of dirty trick.
Then it cuts to King. Then it cuts to a flashback of Bang talking as he goes,
The monster's hideout is vast. We should split into 2 groups. Don't you agree, King?
And then it's King just walking by himself.
4 people would usually split into 2 groups of 2. Why did I end up alone? Oh well, hang in there. You can count on the heroes to wipe out the monsters, so just hold your breath until then and try not to get noticed. Whew. That's right. Be a cloud. No, it's too difficult to get into such a lofty notion. Be a microorganism, something that no one notices, that has nothing to do with anything and doesn't move.
King?
Ah! And it's Waganma behind King.
The hostage king? Why is he bugging me?
I'm so scared! I've been running around alone this whole time and monsters are attacking from that way! Go beat them up! I'm safe with you, right? Can I rely on you?
This is not Waganma. This is not Waganma because Waganma is upstairs. Waganma is upstairs with the rest of the heroes waiting on Child Emperor to come back with Tario. This is not Waganma.
I'm safe with you, right? Can I rely on you? Give me a piggyback ride out of here.
No.
I love you, King. Let me hug you.
And then Waganma stops in his tracks as King's heart starts beating. Is that the King engine? Why are you threatening me? Look, I'm just a child.
You should not bother with me. It would be wiser to find a different hero. You want safety, but a lost cause is a lost cause when it comes to me. Hope is futile. In fact, you will know despair.
And then it turns out that this is actually a monster in front of King, because it shows it's like some sort of monster with cucumber eyes or something.
He saw right through. Already saw through me. I thought my disguise was perfect. Uh-oh, I got too close. Now he'll destroy me. I'm really scared. Oh man, I'm hyperventilating, and it's ruining my transformation. I'm losing shape, and the kid's bone I made just stabbed something. The kid's bone I made just stabbed something vital.
Wow. This monster basically just killed itself with a bone it made to make itself look like Waganma. It was so scared of King that it started to lose its transformation, and in the process, a bone it made inside of its body struck something vital and killed this monster directly on the spot in front of King from pure intimidation. And it just dies and turns into goop directly in front of King as he goes,
Huh? What happened? This is frightening. Saitama, help!
And that's the end of chapter 107. Wow. I gotta stop there. I have to stop there. The spiritual pressure. This King goes around with Kenpachi levels of intimidation, but he's basically Hanataro Yamada. Okay, I gotta end it there. We'll continue. We'll continue with, I know I did chapter 12 in that one, but I feel like I need to continue from chapter 8 of Viz. So the next session I have of One Punch Man will be, it'll look like it says, it'll be chapters, Viz chapters 108 onwards, and we'll go through like 25 chapters until I fully catch up. I won't catch up in one singular stream. It'll probably be 2 more streams where I catch up with One Punch Man. But this is where I'm going to call it right here. We're sticking with Viz. I can't believe I've missed so much information reading the regular volumes that Viz was holding back from me. Ogata-san, you have my utmost thank you. Man, we still got some more One Punch Man to catch up on because these chapters are a lot longer than what I've been reading through. So we'll get through it. I will see you guys in my next session. All I can say is, wow, this might actually be one of my longest One Punch Man sessions. But I had a good time. So all I can say at the end of the day is, hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. That cough is trying to sneak up on me while I'm trying to do my intro. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. And if you're new to the channel and you enjoyed what you saw here today, then like, subscribe, and maybe even consider becoming a member because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. So have a fantastic day. Once again, as always, later, peoples. I'm sticking from Viz from here on in. That's permanent now. Only from the Viz site.